anticapitalista, 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 anticapitalista. Anticapitalista, anticapitalista. The 99%. We are the 99%. We are the 99%. The 99%. So are you. Are the 99%. So are you. Are the 99%.
That's where the money goes. That's what's so who are those people? Well, if ever there were figures at the heart of the 1%, that's who they are. And they operate their broadcast stations on frequencies that are licensed to them by the United States government. Does anybody happen to know how much they pay for those licenses? Nothing, zero. Don't we pay them? They get them. So that's just one example of ways in which oligarchy, democracy has elected in its own hands capacity to remain in control. So all of this that's not going to be rolled back in a season. How is it going to be rolled back? Well, I'm as ignorant as anyone. I could never have anticipated that. Absolutely astounding and splendid stuff. It good one. Right. That's good. So what is it that we should be thinking forward? I've been around this it occurred to me that the central concept that you have in mind as we think about what we need, the concept of a full service. I don't think this is a unique concept. I don't think this is an unprecedented. I think the fact that all successful movements, all large successful movements are full service movements. What do I mean? I mean that they offer, I love that song, that they offer a range of activities for people to take part in. There is no single activity that is the movement activity. Just looking at the inscription from George Washington on the top of the arch, I don't think I ever looked at it. The first sentence is, I'll have to remember, see if my memory works, let us raise a standard to which the wise and something, I don't know, another activity, may repair. And single standard to which the wise and the other activities may repair, who are in their own ways different. The standard is the same, and people are different. Their levels of knowledge are different. Their levels of their skills, their ages, all kinds of things about them are different. A movement that has legs, a movement that can rest the oligarchy and roll it back, is a movement that has room for all of them in it. So that those who have been here or taking part with a certain degree of commitment, a certain, let's say, availability of self, there, a little less full time, or the occupation became their occupation, there is work for them to do. Those who are of a disposition to do direct action, whether they're targeting foreclosed housing, accomplishing actual tangible results for action, there's something for them. Those who are interested in confronting banks, those who are interested in going to stockholder meetings, testing policies of Bank of America or Wells Fargo, there's something for them to do. And then there are the people who just come by. They strolling through the park and they see this, they've heard about Occupy, they're curious, maybe well-disposed, maybe different. They also wonder what's in it for them. That is to say, what order of it can they find for themselves? What is their place in it? Because a movement of life as this one has been is not a movement that can say, I think you should do X, Y, or Z. It's a movement that challenges people wherever they're at to find something in it for themselves. I don't even think they're self-defense. I mean something that addresses them, given who they are, given their feelings, given their commitments. I went to a meeting a few weeks ago of the Direct Action Working Group. There was a man there who said at one point, you know, I live in Brooklyn, I'm a single father, I have an 8-year-old child, I can't come to a lot of these meetings. He said, this is going to be a weird movement if it can only accommodate homeless young people. And he was right. He was right. That's not a moral judgment, that's a social fact. And 1%, sorry, the 99%, a whole lot of people who are not free to do what some of us are supposed to do. But a full-service movement is a movement that offers all of them something they can do. Even if it's, supplying the means, signing a petition, or showing up at events, or something that they can do at home. Full service is a movement that way captures or answers the 99%. It has to be a movement in which you can be passionate without being fanatic. And by the way, I have nothing against fanatics. Needs fanatics. Absolutely. Here today without
Right.
it's a movement for people who are angry, people who are word depressed, who are hopeful, and it's a movement who are it has to be this ensemble, and it has to continue to present multiple faces. I'm not going to say much more, but there is one interesting thing to follow. This movement has been a multiple movement. Obviously, this movement has done a great range of things. And have very different ideas, both tactically and strategically, about what all this is up to here. Now, given the fact that it's a fearless movement, it's also an ecumenical movement. It's an open movement. I'm occupied, but I'm throwing themselves into it. Where I looked this morning, there are, I think, 97 working groups just on the NYCDA course. And I'm sure there are some that aren't registered. Some other things. And that's fine. That's terrific. It's necessary. Now we're going this year to face a special problem which comes directly from the fact that this movement is so open. Because there will likely be, I think, people who want to undertake activities will be seen both by them and by media as leadership projects just because they will catch attention. And the ones that I'm thinking about particularly are coming up this spring. First of all, we'll talk about a general strike on May 1st. Some of you may have gone to meetings. And then there have been calls, one call for a large number of people to gather in Palmo on the G8 NATO meeting. In the case of the general strike, the excitement that the idea of general strike brings about, I think overlooks something about the actual history and nature of general strike. And that is that a real general strike, not a politics, a real general strike is undertaken by people who do what strikers do. They withhold their labor from their employer. And that's what gives them strength. They have this asset. They have their labor. They have about what they want. They vote with their body by abstention. That's a general strike. Declaring that you're organizing a general strike when you are not. The workers in these it's not a general strike. And it's very likely to be perceived by people who are actually working here, there, and elsewhere as a kind of imposition of privileged people who have the luxury of declaring that they're on with a general strike and actually not in line for the penalties that they're in line for. The loss of their wages or their job. As you well know, one of the stereotypes that's thrown at this movement by its enemies is that these are, that you are trust fund kids. I saw this today in comments to an online article that ran, surprise, in the New York Post. Do not want to reinforce that stereotype. It is a false stereotype. I don't know anybody in this movement. Secret. I don't know that there is. It's probably a very statistic. But you do not want to reinforce that this is a free-floating, detached movement without roots that just sort of floats in, parachutes in, and goes to its
Anybody want to jump in on tax reform, maybe? We haven't really discussed that much. I have a question. Are you live streaming?
No. The Wi-Fi for GoPro comes out in March, so I'll be starting live streaming in March. But a few of my friends are. If you see somebody walking around with a big computer,
Okay.
a lot of people are doing it. Got a sign!
Yeah.
I feel like naked without my sign.
Always
Like, I don't want to have a whole conversation with you. Just read my sign.
Yeah, exactly. 45 minutes?
Okay, so we better go now. Okay, yeah. Okay. Okay.
much bigger.
It was the same width,
Yeah.
but it was taller. You're
Yeah, it
right.
was taller.
You're right.
This looks good.
Thank you.
So I heard yours went in as property though. Are you going to get it back?
So yes, I was arrested on New Year's.
I remember.
Yeah.
I'm so angry at Aaron for dragging us into that kettle at the end.
Oh my God.
That was so stupid. That was unnecessary. You look good though in your blouse, very sparkly one.
Oh,
You look
yeah.
really good.
New Year's occupation.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Hey, I can't pull it that much.
So you'll get it back though.
Supposedly after my case at the end of February.
Oh.
But you know, 2 months in occupied time was not okay.
I know.
So I had to make this new one.
Yeah, I know. It's
And
great.
I actually also, just down in DC, I made an Occupy United banner.
Oh, really?
Like just like
That's great. How long does it take to do one of these?
a long time.
Yeah, because you make this, you have to stitch them separately.
Yeah, there's separately.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work. But all of this was a lot of work. I was actually helping with the tax dodgers.
Oh, that was amazing. That was so stunning.
That was his work.
That was great.
So, like,